go to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for super modified mud racing. And we're just about to begin the qualifying session for the quick four drivers who will do battle in the Camel shootout. Remember, this is an 80-foot-long pit of 36-inch deep mud. Rick Brickeye and the just passing through supercharged Chevy-powered Jeep CJ Funny Car leaves the line and will put down the first run of the event. He'll stop it in time in the sandy shutdown area, and apparently he has broken something. He is motioning to the ground crew to pull him off the course. From the state of Iowa, last year's top 10 finisher, this is Byron Tinky and the Bad Habit supercharged 1932 Chevrolet Coupe. Tinky picked up 2 national event wins during the 1990 season and has looked even stronger in 1991. Tinky hard on the brakes. He'll stop it with about 15 feet to spare. The elapsed time for the Bad Habit machine, a great pass. 1.85 seconds, 185.7, and that will bring up the recent winner of the New Orleans Triple Crown of Motorsports. Larry D'Antoni, the Addicted to Mud entry, picked up his first U.S. Hobbit Association win of the year with this supercharged Chop Top 1932 Chevy. A good run for D'Antoni. On the brakes, he'll stop with more than enough room in the 80 feet allotted distance. The elapsed time, good enough for number 2. Telvin Brown and the rear-engine Red Heat Dragster from Ohio next up. One of 2 different machines that Melvin Brown campaigns at every single U.S. Hobbit Association events. Bounced it all over. The elapsed time for the Red Heat machine, 1.95 seconds. That'll put him number 2, but here is the world elapsed time record holder, the 1.6-second Insanity Roadster of Milwaukee, Wisconsin's Jeff Acker, 2,000 Chevrolet horsepower. Acker on the brakes, the Insanity machine, 1.94 seconds will put him number 2. Here's Ohio's Chad Miller and the always outrageous supercharged street roaster called Instant T. Miller hard on the brakes. He'll stop it with about 10 feet to spare, but you can see a little bit of tire spin on the starting line. The elapsed time, 2.02 seconds. Just about any hardcore fan knows this machine. Milwaukee, Wisconsin's Jim Weber and the supercharged, fuel-injected, methanol-burning, Chevy-powered, American-made entry. Weber, one of the masters at putting the power to the ground where it's needed most. A great run on the brakes hard. He'll spin it to try and pick up some extra room. The elapsed time for Jim Weber, 1.83 seconds. Number 1 qualifier in the quickest run of the event so far. But meanwhile, back on the starting line with the kill switch now connected that will shut the engine down at the finish line, Oklahoma's own Larry Jarrett and the Locomotion supercharged Chevy machine. Wheels up for Jarrett, now on the brakes. He'll stop it safely. The elapsed time for the Perry, Oklahoma veteran, 1.91 seconds. The next man up will be one of the toughest in the division. Kansas City, Kansas campaigner Ken Crum. The Valvoline-sponsored supercharged Chevrolet rear-engine dragster. A great run. He bounces all over the place in the shutdown area. He took a hit down there. That's the bad news. The good news is that he ran 189 and qualifies for the quick 4. This is Jack Sturkin out of Holland, Michigan. The Ground Zero altered wheelbase Chevy S10 with supercharged small block power. Bouncing all over. The top end is getting violently rough. And the crowd can appreciate that from a small block Chevy powered entry. Still, it's amazing how close this field is. But here's a man who wants to split it wide open. The 3-time and defending super-modified U.S. Hobbit Association World Champ, Indiana's Tom Martin in the brand-new Super Trooper 1932 Chevrolet. Martin really takes a ride down in the shutdown. These guys are getting beaten to death down there. Martin, for only the 2nd time this year, will fail to qualify for a Camel shootout. What an upset. But here's the machine that Martin took to 3 consecutive world championships, the Mud Patrol 32 Chevy, with the new driver, Paul Schaefer, behind the wheel this year. The flashing lights on top of the machine telling the ground crew that he will be using nitrous oxide injection on this run. Carrying the left front wheel, a straight arrow run. He'll stop it in time. On the line, Detroit, Michigan's Tony Ferrotti, the outrageous Let's Boogie winged 1927 Ford Model T Roadster. On the brakes hard, a wild flight through the shutdown area. He misses the field by 0.02 of a second. I'll tell you what, the top four separated by less than 0.08 of a second. When we come back with the Camel shootout for those four quickest qualifiers. Here at the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts, the crowd is literally on the edge of their seats for what could be the greatest single round of racing we've seen this year. You're looking at the only truck in the semifinal round that did not qualify in the top four. The incredible gravedigger of Dennis Anderson used a whole shot and a whole bunch of power to advance into the semifinals over the number 3 qualifier, the Micro Machine Chevy, only to earn the right to take on the number 1 qualifier, the Bigfoot Ford. Listen to the crowd. Obviously, this one is split 50-50 between the Ford and Chevrolet fans. The two single most popular monster trucks ever created are on the starting line. The number 1 qualifier in the far lane, Anderson, using both driving ability and a load of horsepower to advance just this far after qualifying in the bottom half of the field. They are staged and ready. RPM's up. An incredible hole shot for the gravedigger, and Dennis Anderson blows the number 1 qualifier in the weeds. The crowd cannot believe it. Anderson is on a roll, qualifying next to last, but now earning a spot in the final round. And the next pair of drivers will determine who will meet the Green Machine in the championship dash. The world champ, Fred Schaefer, in the Barefoot Chevy number 2 qualifier, lines up alongside the number 4 qualifier, another one for the Ford fans, the incredible First Blood Ford of Rob Fuchs. After the war the crowd just witnessed, can it get any wilder than that? Rob Fuchs, the underdog in this matchup. Schaefer again forced to wait on the starting line as Rob Fuchs' First Blood machine now inches up to the staging area. And he's ready. You can imagine the intensity in the cockpits of each machine. There is no love lost in this pair. The whole shot goes to Barefoot, and by 5 feet at the finish line, the Barefoot Chevrolet advances to the final round. So it will pit the defending world champion against the crowd favorite, Dennis Anderson's gravedigger, for all the marbles. Stay with us.